fired as part of these kind of latest moves by the Office of Personnel Management in the Trump administration?
Most of the personnel changes have not been firings. They've been layoffs or buyouts, and to my knowledge, nobody in Louisiana has lost their job that I've heard of.
But a lot of these probationary employees, people who were moved from other agencies, are you concerned that this is being done with too broad a brush?
Every successful corporation in America, we have the most, but we have successful businesses and companies all across the world. Every single one of them that has survived knows how to modernize and, when economic conditions require it, downsize. That's a normal part of free enterprise. I haven't seen in the Constitution, or I don't see it taught in any business school, that government should be exempt. Now, we've got a $36 trillion debt. We run deficits every year in our spending, which adds to that debt. We're going to run out of digits. And it is now government's turn to modernize and downsize. That's point one. Point two, you've seen what I've seen. You support this kind of spending porn? I mean, come on. You've seen the American taxpayer money and what it's being spent on. It triggers my gag reflex. No fair-minded American wants to see their tax dollars spent on this kind of rot. And that's what President Trump, through his auditing team, has found. I would have thought that most of my Democratic colleagues, if not all of them, would support getting rid of this sort of rot, this spending porn. But they have clearly chosen the side of the spending porn and the side of the bureaucrats. They have, my Democratic colleagues, most of them anyway that I've talked to, have chosen to support the bureaucrats and the spending porn over the American taxpayer. And I have to tell you, I don't understand it, because I know where the American people are.
Senator, in the reconciliation process, do you want to see the Senate take the lead in this process, or see the House play out its version?
It matters not to me. I just want to pass a bill. I don't care whether we do one bill or two bills. I don't care whether the Senate goes first or the House goes first. I'm totally agnostic. You can teach the one bill versus two bill. You can teach it round or flat. What I don't want to happen is for this relationship to become antagonistic. The Senate is very different from the House. The politics are different. The ease or difficulty of obtaining the votes is much different in the House and the Senate. The Senate's going forward, but so is the House. And hopefully we'll both pass something, and then we'll sit down in a conference committee and work it out. If the Senate passes its bill first and sends it to Speaker Johnson, he doesn't have to take it up. He can finish his work. I don't see this as a competition. We have the same objective. I just want to get something passed, because we've got about 6 months, maybe a year, to show the American people that we mean business.
Sir, do you have any concerns with how the negotiations regarding Ukraine and Russia are playing out right now, and if Russia might be being given too much up front here?
I don't know that they've reached any agreements. They're talking just about general principles right now. I've seen some reporting suggesting that they have, but I don't think that reporting is accurate. The president has said very clearly that the role that the United States is going to take is mediator between Ukraine and Russia, and I believe that. Europe will be involved. NATO will be involved. But you've got to start somewhere. And this is just a fact. For as long as I can remember, certainly since the end of the Cold War, the American people have put up most of the money, the lion's share of the money, to protect Europe. And we put up most of the money, at least in terms of weapons and weaponry, to Ukraine. If it wasn't for the United States of America, Putin would be in Paris right now, headed toward London. Those were American taxpayer dollars. So President Trump has taken the lead with, and you've seen his negotiating team, and they're meeting in Saudi Arabia with their Russian counterparts. You've got to start somewhere, and that's where we're starting. But I don't think anybody's going to be left out of this, certainly not Ukraine. We shouldn't agree to, no one should agree to a deal that Ukraine is not comfortable with. And certainly Europe will be involved. But our friends in Europe have got a lot of hard decisions to make, not just about Ukraine and not just about Russia. For the past, I don't know, 30, 40, 50 years, my friends in Europe have chosen to spend most of their money on regulation, on combating what they see as climate change, and on welfare. And they haven't spent very much money, relatively speaking, on defense. Why is that? Because they depended on the American taxpayer to spend all of its money on defending Europe. All we're saying is to Europe is, look, the Europeans are allies, they're our friends, we love you, but you got to start paying your own bills, and that's all that we're saying. Doesn't mean we don't support them. Yes.
Senator Wicker said that Putin should be executed. Do you agree with that?
I wouldn't cry. I mean, look, I don't hate anybody. When I say my prayers at night, one of the things I ask God for is don't let me hate. Because up here in this place, Washington, D.C., this godless place, it's hard. But Vladimir Putin has a black heart. He clearly has Stalin's taste for blood. And there's some people in this world, they're not mixed up, they're not confused, they're not sick. It's not that their mama or daddy didn't love them enough. There's bad people, and they hurt other people, sometimes for enjoyment, and they take other people's stuff, and some of those people run countries, and one of them is Vladimir Putin. He's an evil man.
Is it a mistake then for the U.S. to move so quickly to normalize relations with Russia today?
I don't agree with the assumption of your question. What steps have we taken today to normalize our relations with Russia? Have we withheld sanctions? Who are you with?
Scripps.
Have we withheld sanctions?
We have normalized.
Have we removed sanctions? I haven't seen us taking any steps to take the pressure off Putin. You need to go check your facts, man. What else? That's it?
I think you covered it.
Senator.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Have a good evening.